Right now at 6, charges are filed in a decades-long cold case.
And a body is found near Wygant Park.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. After almost 4 decades, law enforcement officials are filing charges in the 1985 murder of a UWL student.
News 8 Now's Allison Ferget joins us live from the Vernon County Courthouse. Good evening, Allison.
Ken and Emily, 60-year-old truck driver Michael Popp of Tomah is accused of killing Terry Dalloway. According to the criminal complaint, Popp was acquaintances with Dalloway and her fiance, Russell Lee. The three, along with Popp's girlfriend, would participate in pool tournaments together. Dalloway went missing on Valentine's Day, 1985. Her body was found 4 days later in Vernon County. Officers first interviewed Popp in March of '85 about the case, but it wasn't until September 2022 that officers confirmed Popp was a match for DNA found on Dalloway's body.
But what I can say is there's been advancements over the years, and those advancements have helped make identification in many cases.
Since the DNA discovery, Popp has undergone other interviews with law officials, but officials say there's more to their case against Popp than just DNA. In 1987, Popp's former girlfriend told investigators that Popp would often drive her car while they were dating. Additional witnesses noticed a similar vehicle near Dalloway's trailer around the time she went missing.
You know, I would say there's lots of different aspects of evidence of this case and a lot of investigation, and so certainly we're not relying solely on DNA.
Popp was arrested in Monroe County this weekend for an unrelated case. He's accused of stalking and domestic abuse, among other charges. He was moved to Vernon County yesterday and faces first-degree murder for Dalloway's death. Now, earlier today, Popp did have his bail hearing. His bail is set at $1 million, and right now it's unclear when he will be back in court. Reporting in Vernon County, Allison Ferget, Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Allison. An investigation is underway after a body was found near Wygant Park this morning.
And just before 7:30 a.m., La Crosse police were called to the 1500 block of Cass Street for a report of a deceased person. Police say it appears to be an isolated incident that remains under investigation. We'll update you on our website and on the air as we learn more from police.
Well, another beautiful day we had today. I love waking up in the morning and it's that nice, crisp fall air. But then as you were mentioning earlier, that it just rises back up to summer-like temps.
I know. We get a little taste of the two ideal seasons in my book, Greg.
We're going to have more of that taste. Unfortunately, it's going to be feeling probably more like the end of August, early September as we go throughout this week and weekend. And that's the good news if you like some warmer temperatures. Today, very close to seasonal average with some cloud cover out there off and on. But right now, we're sitting in the mid to upper 60s to low 70s. That cloud cover will start dissipating a little bit towards after sunset into the evening. But all in all, pretty close to where we should be. The big picture is the little front to the west is kind of weakened and pushed to the south, so all the precipitation with that is more into Iowa, and then that low that pushed up towards Chicago, that has kept the cloud cover and the precipitation well to the east towards Milwaukee and southeastward. So right now we're kind of in between it, so we just had a few clouds, but otherwise this evening we'll lose some of that clouds. We'll fall back into the upper 50s. Otherwise for La Crosse too, similar type of story, very light winds, very pleasant conditions, upper 50s by 10 p.m. Clearing skies too. Big picture shows those temperatures out to the west are approaching 80 degrees or above, all the way to the plains, all the way up into the Canadian plains up there too. So that's the picture that we'll be seeing. But for tonight, really, it's going to be once again another somewhat chilly night, but overall pretty typical temperatures, low to mid 40s in the coldest spots, to the upper 40s to low 50s in the more similar spots. Now, warm conditions, that's going to be the rule as we go throughout the week. We're not going to change much in that. We're going to actually get to close to 80, which is not that far from where we should be. The last actual day we usually see 80 is about October 3rd for La Crosse. So we're kind of in that ballpark, but we're going to see a stretch of it, and I'll break it down here a bit later in broadcast.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Greg.
Former Packers quarterback Brett Favre revealed in a congressional hearing today that he has Parkinson's. Congressmen were questioning him amid accusations that he helped divert federal welfare funds, including to build a volleyball facility at his daughter's school and his alma mater, the University of Southern Mississippi. Favre has denied any wrongdoing and is not criminally charged. Favre, who played 20 NFL seasons, estimated during a 2022 interview that he suffered thousands of concussions during his football career.
Wisconsin Senate candidate Eric Hovde is making a campaign stop today at a Tomah cranberry bog. Hovde today echoing previous points on the toll that inflation and government regulation have had on Wisconsin farmers. He says the 1972 Clean Water Act in particular allows government to regulate any water on a farm. That act is designed to regulate navigable waters, but what that actually means has been litigated in courts for decades. The GOP candidate says instead of regulating them, Washington should listen to farmers and put them in a position to succeed.
Wisconsin, the agricultural community is such an enormously important part of Wisconsin, and we have to make sure our farmers can thrive and survive, because a lot of farmers are going through a lot of difficulty today.
Hovde also visited the La Crosse Center this morning to speak on health care and housing at the Wisconsin Counties Association's annual conference.
Western Technical College is powering up the future of industrial technology with a new addition to its Tomah campus. Today, the school unveiled its Mechatronics Lab, a state-of-the-art facility designed to teach the latest developments in automation and advanced manufacturing. As Western's president explains, the lab is not designed for one specific course. Instead, it provides specialized training based on employers' needs.
What we do have out here is customized training, and the lab that we have in here is to help employers that need this skill, that skill, this skill, and then we can build them into credentials for them that can help them get their associate degree.
Now, companies train their employees at the lab, but it's also designed to be mobile, so it can easily get to places of employment for training.
September is Workforce Development Month, and today one event is putting that into action. The Western Wisconsin Workforce Development Center hosted the Power of Partnership Open House today. The event is to bring together organizations, employers, and job seekers to create connections and strengthen the state's workforce. The DWD's regional director says the open house isn't only for those searching for employment.
We also can help people who are looking to change careers or that are already participating in the workforce and find resources to upskill themselves for the job that they currently have.
If you weren't able to make it to today's open house, there's another one tomorrow at Eau Claire's Job Center. That'll run from 1 to 5 p.m.
Today, Benedictine Living Community hosted an open house and ribbon cutting to reveal its newly remodeled areas. Benedictine Living Community aims to improve the quality of life and care for seniors within the community. One of the areas that have been remodeled is the activity room, which now includes an updated kitchen. The housing director says that it's great for residents to have the newly remodeled space.
Nice to see them be proud of where they live and to live in a beautiful home. Many of them came from their own beautiful homes, so it's nice for them to want to share the space and to be proud of where they live.
Attendees enjoyed live music and took a tour of the remodeled areas and entered a raffle.
President Biden speaks at the UN General Assembly for the last time.
He calls for global diplomacy amidst rising tensions in the Middle East.
The greatest meal deal for your buck? Hardee's Original Bag. Just $5.99. Loaded with your choice of 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink. All for just $5.99. Hardee's. Goodness in the making.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Dutch Boy, it's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Dutch Boy Paint.
Every morning in hardworking America, Hardee's biscuit makers rise to bake our original made-from-scratch biscuits. Famous since 1977 and still the greatest goodness around. Find the best deals on the Hardee's app.
The conflicts in the Middle East hang over this week's gathering of the United Nations General Assembly.
For President Biden, it's an opportunity to call for greater global diplomacy and to say farewell to the world stage. Michael George reports from New York.
President Biden took the stage before world leaders at the General Assembly.
Now, I know I look like I'm only 40. I know that.
At the age of 81, it was his last time at this podium as America's commander-in-chief. He spoke about the accomplishments of his administration and about his decision to withdraw from the presidential race.
My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power. It's your people.
He also reaffirmed his support for Ukraine and expressed hope that diplomacy can prevent a larger war from consuming the Middle East.
Full-scale war is not in anyone's interest. Even if the situation has escalated, a diplomatic solution is still possible. In fact, it remains the only path to lasting security.
Some of that diplomacy is happening along the sidelines, including remarks from Israel's ambassador to the UN. The Israeli envoy said his country would prefer a diplomatic solution to de-escalate the conflict with Hezbollah militants in Lebanon.
If they will not fire rockets into Israel, and we will be able to bring back our residents back to their communities, that's it. You have no escalation.
Both the Israeli and Palestinian leaders will address the General Assembly later this week, as well as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, scheduled to speak on Wednesday. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
President Zelensky plans to visit Capitol Hill on Thursday, hoping to drum up support from lawmakers.
Well, we have more news ahead, but first,
we have warmer conditions coming, and that means the 80s are back for a little bit of a stretch. We'll break down when that might end and if we got any precipitation for Oktoberfest weekend. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Ashley knows that some of our most important traditions and memories start around the dining table. From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, we have versatile options that fit any space, with styles ranging from mid-century modern to farmhouse or traditional, starting at just $499.99, only at Ashley.
This ad is a complete lie. The truth is, Tammy Baldwin's never shared inside information with her partner. And Tammy Baldwin's leading the fight to ban senators from purchasing any individual stocks. It's Eric Hovde, who owns a $3 billion California bank. And Hovde's bank takes millions from unknown foreign interests, meaning we'd have no idea who Eric Hovde would really be working for. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed.
Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $1,200. Visit any of your Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
While families struggle to pay bills, Harris and the Democrats are wasting our tax dollars on their extreme liberal agenda, giving government checks to illegal immigrants, funding a Madison clinic where minors get transgender therapy without parents' consent, pushing high schools to allow boys to compete in girls' sports. Senator Baldwin fights for this madness. Tammy Baldwin, radical, extreme, and wrong.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers mattresses for every level of comfort, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. We have affordable mattress options for everybody. Find your perfect match today, only at Ashley. Shop more deals in store and online.
Yeah, we're going to get back into the 80s, and it's still average time that we're going to see that. This is for Eau Claire, when you would typically see the last day of 80 degrees or plus, and really we're kind of at that time frame, the end of September. A little bit later for La Crosse, it's about the beginning of October. We passed the 90s, although we did have some 90s earlier in September, so kind of gives you an idea that we still could see 80s here for the next couple of weeks. It's pretty common that we can see that, and we're going to see it at least for a stretch here. Minus the morning fog, which we'll typically see this time of year near the river areas. That'll continue for tomorrow morning and Thursday morning. Will warm up throughout the week. 80s definitely are likely for some areas, getting into the low 80s for probably Sunday. Could even extend into Monday, given how things will set up. We do have some more cloud cover this weekend. That's coming the remnants of what will be eventually just a tropical depression once it gets up to Indiana, but we're going to see some of that cloud cover. The good news is the trend has been further south of the precipitation rain band, so that's good news. I don't think we'll see much of way of that, maybe southern Wisconsin. But overall, we see here's a system that's diving south. This is actually going to play a role in where the hurricane goes, because you will see a little bit of a spin right there. That low is heading south. We have this system heading to the east, ridge to the west, so we have generally good conditions to Thursday till we'll start seeing a little bit of a change, and that's because it's going to come from this tropical storm, which still is beginning to take shape more. That'll be a major hurricane as it heads towards the Big Bend of Florida here soon, and then head north, and eventually it will impact our weather with some clouds, as I mentioned. Fog, we've had quite a bit of that for the last couple days. This time of year, getting near the river valleys is very common to see it. Between about 6 to 8, you start seeing visibilities drop pretty much in that 2 to 5 mile range. In some areas, especially along the river areas, could get down to less than a mile at times. It won't last too long, but it definitely will be out there for your morning commute. So if you're going to pass through some of those areas, Wisconsin River area, the Mississippi River, Kickapoo, those areas, you may see that once again, and that'll continue. And then by 9, we should see that burn off as we saw it today. And that'll be a problem probably going into Wednesday morning too. It's Thursday morning too. There's your high temperatures, about 3 to 4 degrees warmer than we saw. That's still above average. Thursday, even better, more sun, light winds. Probably going to see a lot more 80s in the map there, 80 degrees in La Crosse and 80 in Eau Claire too, and that'll continue. And for the Torchlight Parade, you can't beat these conditions. Light winds, very comfortable temperatures, a little bit of clouds out there, but otherwise really just getting to the mid 60s by 9 p.m. So very nice. And really, as you look at the big picture, good conditions we go throughout, but then you notice the cloud cover starting to increase towards Thursday and Friday. This is what's left of the tropical system begins to lift north. We're just going to see cloud cover throughout Friday, and that's going to be the weekend. This main rain band is going to stay to the south, maybe touch southern Wisconsin with a precip, but otherwise there's your temperatures, and they're going up. We're going to look at the upper 70s to near 80 as we go throughout the time period, and then we may have a cold front come through as we get towards the beginning of, I can't even say it, middle of next week, and maybe bring us back down to average temperatures. But I just hit something over there too.
My goodness.
I know.
He's so excited about
the
80s.
Because of these 80-degree temps.
Can't like a bull in a china shop over here.
Exactly.
Can't take them anywhere.
Overall, you can't beat this Oktoberfest.
I can't beat it.
Really.
Love to see it. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, a visit to West Salem as the Panthers come in at 4 in the latest volleyball rankings. Why their offense is such a well-oiled machine. Next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member who was arrested for domestic battery
violently attacked a woman physically and sexually.
The border crisis is real here in Wisconsin.
Criminal gangs harming our community.
We're stretched thin. Open borders and weak politicians are crushing us.
Rebecca Cook is one of them. She doesn't back law enforcement. She'll never secure the border. She doesn't even want to.
That's why we stand with Derek Van Orton. He has our back.
And I've got yours. I'm Derek Van Orton, and I approve this message.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
It seems like everyone in Washington is either too far left or too far right. I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'll stand up to Democrats to fight for a secure border and stop wasteful spending. I'll stand up to extremists like Derek Van Orton, who wants to ban all abortions with no exceptions. Like you, I'm fed up and ready for change. I approve this message because it's time that we sent one of us to Congress.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
High school athletes are proving to be bigger, faster, and stronger year after year. UCLA Health found that better training techniques plus better technology has created better athletes at the high school age. You see pitchers throwing faster, track athletes running faster, and even on the volleyball court, hitters are able to attack the nets and create offense at a higher rate, which has helped the West Salem Panthers get off to a hot start this season. West Salem's Becky Murphy is in her 5th year as head coach for the Panthers and has her girls riding a 16-game conference win streak dating back to last season. The Panthers are ranked 4th in the latest D2 rankings and have been playing at a really high level. A big reason for that comes in the summer.
I think a lot of that off-season training helps with that conditioning and weightlifting and stuff. So it's fun when they come to us and they're ready to go, and you know, they just have a lot of skills that they've developed over the years. They play volleyball maybe in the off-season or other sports in the off-season, and they're just ready to go.
The Panthers have a number of outside and middle hitters who can rise up to the occasion at a moment's notice. They're tasked with making split-second decisions on when to be aggressive and when to play it smart.
I'm just ready to go at all times, but especially in the big moments as well, to be ready to swing and still be aggressive is important. Everyone's doing their part to be aggressive and be strong at the net, and we have a lot of height and different people that use different shots and play a lot of volleyball, not just in school but in club as well.
But it takes an entire team to run a smooth operation. The Panthers setters help unlock the offense by mixing it up and being unpredictable.
I think our setters do a really nice job of putting the ball right where it needs to be. So if we get the pass up to our setter, they can we can get a kill out of it no matter what. And our hitters doing a really nice job adjusting to out-of-system sets. And we've been practicing a lot on our hitting and our offense. So I think all the hard work is paying off.
We've still got a ways to go before the postseason, but if the Panthers continue to fly above the nets and make a run to the state tournament, it would be their first trip to Green Bay since 2006. And a big thank you to Coach Murphy and her team for helping teach me a couple of new things about volleyball philosophy. It's always fun being a student and learning about the game. All right, tonight, the Brewers in action against the Pirates. Just 6 games left in the regular season. The Brewers are just 1 win away from 90 wins, and maybe it didn't feel like a 90-win team coming into the season, but what a year it's been for those Brewers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a young squad.
Very young.
A 20-year-old kid given $80 million, had never even seen AAA pitching, and is now one of the best players in baseball.
And pretty much not a lot of pitching coming into the year, but the Brewers keep finding studs after stud and just really put together a pitching staff. Hopefully they can make a run in that postseason, though.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cade.
All right, we'll have one more check of the forecast when we return.
It's an Oktoberfest tradition, the Maple Leaf Parade, Saturday at 10 a.m. on Channel 8.2 or streaming on News 8 Plus.
It can be backbreaking work all day, every day, pretty much on your feet. So it burns me up when Eric Hovde says people in Wisconsin don't work hard. The guy is a multi-millionaire California banker. He has absolutely no idea what we're going through. He's living the high life out there in a big fancy house. He even brags about being in the 1%. Listen, don't come here and tell us we're not working hard when we are just getting by. Eric Hovde doesn't respect us at all. The guy's a straight-up jerk. ESCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's fall tool sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like over half off 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, just $32.99. This Milwaukee brushless grinder with paddle switch, only $119. Save $15 on 3M Digital WorkTunes hearing protection, $49.99. And shop new fall colors of men's work and sport sweatshirts, starting at $19.99.
Scouting has helped them build confidence through problem solving, learning to cook over a fire, building a tent in areas that they don't always get exposed to.
It's not competitive. It really helps develop your son or daughter into a great human being.
This is a great opportunity for your child to get to know the outdoors, and there's so much that outside in nature can provide for our children, and having these experiences is what Scouting is all about.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
All right, for our pumpkin spice latte, we're looking at what it is. Just a hint of fall, kind of in the morning, because by the afternoon we're going to be upper 70s, near 80, and that's going to be the story as we go throughout the 8-day forecast.
Being there, done that.
Being
is that
there,
what
that
said?
was the coffee shop. That's
like
what it's
it.
called. Clever. He didn't come up with that though.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.